What's up guys, this is Kaminakat uploading on Vexicus4666's channel. Thank you Vexy very much for the guest upload. I'm going to be doing a deck profile today of a deck that's very close to my heart. That is DevPro OTK. This is one of my favorite decks. Frogs are like my favorite archetype of all time. I played like Lancer Frogs, Frog Monarchs, DevPro OTK, Slushy Frogs, like Frog Burns, like anything that involves frogs definitely interests. So this is just going to be a build of DevPro OTK, which basically focuses on rank 2s and rank 5s. It's going to be using some more like updated cards, some tools that we've gotten pretty recently in the game to try to make it a little more viable for today's meta. So without further ado, let's get right into the profile. Alright, so to start off the profile here, we have a pretty large frog engine. So we're playing, obviously, 3 Swap Frog, most important frog generally in the deck. He becomes even better in this deck because of his interactions with DevPro and his Tensu summon, his double summon ability, like becomes extremely useful. So absolutely 3 Swap Frog. Next up, 3 Ronin Totem. Ronin's obviously, really important. He's your Dragon Ruler guy. You can just banish a frog and summon himself from the grave as many times as you can. And he just promotes like OTKs and like you just shove Ronins down people's throats. That's how you play like any variant, like any Lancer or like DevPro variant generally. Then our Stratos of the deck, our very stupid looking Stratos, is Dupe Frog. 3 of him, so his name also becomes DevPro. That is important. Him and Ronin both become DevPro while they're on the field, which is really important for something you'll see later on. When he's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 frog monster except himself from the deck or graveyard to hand, and that or graveyard is very important in this deck especially, so 3 of him. And then for our last guy we got triple DevPro and then the obligatory 1 Tadpole to go along with it. So Tadpole basically is just a cost for DevPro. So I'll read DevPro to you here real quick. Level 5, Aqua, 1900 beater, 5-star. Says, when this card is tribute summoned, you can special summon DevPro from your hand or deck up to the number of Tadpoles in your graveyard. So that's why you just play the 1 Tadpole, and generally you're going to want to dump him in grave first with like Swap Frog unless you like are in dire need of a rank 2 play or something, because you want to get him out of the deck right away because he's like, it's bad, like if you draw him with Swap Frog it's fine, but if you draw him without Swap Frog it's fucking horrible. So like you want to get him in the grave, so it basically makes DevPro, he's basically like a rank 5 tour guide for himself, so yeah, that's basically how that goes. He's the main push card for rank 5s and stuff in like OTK. So you have rank 2s and rank 5s, like I said, so yeah. Next up we got triple Mother Grizzly. Joe Grizz here, he just goes ahead and crashes into stuff to get Swap Frog right from the deck. And when you do get Swap Frog off of Grizzly, it special summons him so he can trigger his effect. Like lets you deck thin a little bit, but generally you don't want to set this and wait because like, this is 2016 Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, you want to crash this into stuff, basically. And besides Swap Frog, you can also get our one-of Sea Lancer, which is our last, like, frog engine type monster. And basically, this is, like, one of my favorite cards, so I'm going to read this real quick. If you haven't seen it, it's level 5, Beast Warrior, which is really weird. Water, I think it'd be a Sea Serpent. 1300 beater. Seems really small, right? Well, here's his effect. You can target any number of your banished fish, sea serpent, and aqua type monsters, and aqua type is all of the frogs, they're all aqua. And then equip them to this card as equipped spells. This effect can only be used once while this card is face up on the field, and if this face up card on the field would be destroyed, you can destroy one of those cards instead. And he gains 1000 attack while equipped with at least 1. So he goes up to 23, which is like not amazing, but the main thing is like you can banish a bunch of your frogs with Ronin Totem. Use them for rank 2 plays, and then once they're all, you have a bunch of stuff banished, you can use Sea Lancer to re-equip them and get them back into the graveyard. And if he destroys Dupe Frog, it does trigger his effect, and it also triggers Poison Draws Frog's effect, but we don't play that in this, but you can't, that's a thing you can do, so yeah. Next up, I'm actually playing a small artifact core, so I have 2 Scythe and 1 Moral Attack, just for some artifact action there for you. And our last monster is 1 Gemini Garnet. I wonder why. Probably because our first spell is triple Brilliant Fusion. Yes, I am playing Brilliant Fusion because it gives you more access to your rank 5s, plus gives you another summon, which is actually really good in this deck, because you can like tribute summon multiple DevPro per turn, and it's like, just having that multiple, because you can already get a Tensu summon off of Swap Frog, and then you get another one off of Seraph Knight, so like you can normal summon 3 times a turn, and in this deck that's very good, because whenever you can summon, whenever Swap Frog hits the board, you're doing like something right, so yeah, that's Brilliant Fusion is really good. And I'll get into why you can get away with running only one Garnet, and it won't, like, kill you immediately if you draw it. When we get into the extra deck. Next spell is Triple Inferno Reckless Summon. So yeah, I guess you could, like, special summon, like, Swap Frogs or something like that, but the main play here is if you summon Rodent Totem from the graveyard, his name on the field is Des Frog, so when you summon him, if you Inferno Reckless Summon on chain to that summon, it will summon not Ronin Totems, but Des Frogs from the deck, hand, or graveyard. So yeah, no matter where they are, unless they're like on the field or a material, you're getting 3 Des Frogs onto the field for like 1 card, which is really dumb. So yeah, Reckless Summon is like a win condition in this deck. It's really good. Then our last 3 we have Des Croaking. So this, you could switch around numbers of this and Darkhold and Raigekis. I always say my deck profiles are never final. Like, you know, I want you guys to play around with this stuff, but because Des Croaking, yeah, you can only activate it when you control 3 face-up Des Frogs, so it's obviously more limited than Darkhold Raigeki. But this nukes your opponent's entire board, so it's a Raigeki for their entire board, which is really good. So, especially like you think about like Monarchs, like if you get 3 Des Frogs out, and of course that includes the actual Des Frog, Ronin Totem, or Dupe Frog, because those, you know, Dupe Frog and Ronin Totem, both their names change, so that, yeah. So you can just summon all 3 Ronins from grave and then Des Croaking the field. But like, yeah, you think about Monarchs and like Pepe and like stuff, like when they lose their whole board, like how the fuck do they come back from that? That's crazy. So yeah, and our last spell is just 1 Foolish, because everything is useful in the grave here. And like we're already playing 3 Foolish, so why not just play 4, right? Next up we got Traps. So we just have 3 3-up traps. First one is 3 Artifact Sanctum. Just let you get your artifact guys out of the deck. Obviously, like we're playing artifacts, this is why you play artifacts. Triple Breakthrough skill, because you got to do the combo with Ronin, where if you Reckless Summon, you can like summon Rodent, chain Reckless Summon, and then chain Breakthrough skill from field or grave onto one of your opponent's guys, doesn't matter what. So that way it summons a mid-chain, so you can dodge like, you know, traps and shit, which is cool. And then I got Triple Call the Haunted, because we're playing artifacts, which works really well with them. It also works extremely well with Swap Frog, and just like getting 5s back to the field with Des Frog. Like, if your opponent tries to attack in, you can just get back like Mother Grizzly, and then get something from the deck. It's just a useful card to have, and the fact that I have Brilliant Fusion to be able to put my artifacts in the grave, I want to have something that can pull them out of the grave, not just the deck with Sanctum. So now onto the extra deck. I have the one obvious Seraph Knight, because I'm playing Brilliant Fusion, duh. And after that, it's all Exceed. So starting off with rank 2s, I've got 1 Sky Cavalry, because he's just like that indestructible Grand Mole bullshit. I have 1 Herald of Pure Light. This card is like, okay, I know Sky Cavalry is like the generic, like, best rank 2, like, yeah, he gets that title, but like, Herald is one of the most flexible, like, Exceed monsters in the fucking game. Like, it's really good, and I think it gets looked over a lot, but you can add back any monster from your grave, like, it doesn't matter. So this is the reason that we can get away with playing just 1 Garnet, because as a cost of adding something back, you have to shuffle 1 card, doesn't matter which you don't show your opponent, from your hand back into your deck. So if you draw Garnet, or if you like draw an artifact, like draw your artifacts in a Sanctum, you can just make Herald and then put it back, and then it's fine. So if you open your 1 Garnet in Brilliant Fusion, but you open like Swap Frog and like 1 Water Monster, your Brilliant Fusion's live now. Like, it's fine. 1 Digesto Phoenix, and then 1 Cat Shark. So Phoenix obviously is an OTK. If you make Phoenix and Cat Shark together, it makes Phoenix 3,000 and attack twice. That's 6,000 plus Cat Shark's 500. So 6,500 is a lot of damage. Add 1 more thing, it's probably game. And on top of that, you can also we play Gaia Dragon, so like Phoenix can make Gaia Dragon attack twice, which is relevant. And Zen Mayo as well. But back on topic, Cat Shark also can just pump up like guys kind of randomly. Like, he can make Downward big as fuck and stuff like that on either player's turn, which is kind of cool. And his materials are always going to be water, so you can just, like, you know, it's always going to be indestructible. 2 So Cute boss for when you want to be too cute, and when you want to pop stuff, because it lets you pop stuff that's 28 or lower if you make both of them, and then they can't be attacked. They have like a Dupe Frog lock type thing going on there. 1 Downer Magician. If I had more room, I'd play like 20, but there's no room here. On to the 5s, play 1 Durandal because, like, duh, we're playing artifacts, it's really good, fixing hands as well. 1 Pleiades if you happen to get 2 artifacts in the field. This isn't going to happen as much, but, like, you can make it, and Pleiades is a fucking boss, so, like, yeah. 1 Volcasaurus for the burn damage, and 1 Shark Fortress for attacking in, so these are two different, like, sort of OTK options. 1 Wind Up Arsenal Zen Mayo for popping face downs, also this is, again, a target for Phoenix. This could be something else, but I just like Zen Mayo. And then 1 Abyss Splash, again, this could be something else, but this guy, he's basically 2 level 5 water monsters to make him, and he can, once per turn, either player's turn, detach to double his attack until your opponent's end phase. So that's, could be 2 turns if it's on your turn. And then any battle damage your opponent takes for the rest of the turn is halved with battles involving him, but he makes himself 48, so if there's any big problem monster, you can just beat over it. Like, when Cliff War Towers was the thing, this could have wrecked it, like, yeah. And lastly, but not leastly, 1 Gaia Dragon, because you gotta rank up your Volcasaurus and attack for game like a good boy. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, this was Kaminakat. You can check out my channel and a link in the description. Go ahead and subscribe if you'd like to see more deck profiles like this. I also do the How to Play Yu-Gi-Oh! 101 series you might have seen on YouTube or Reddit or something. That's me. As well as DevPro and Chill, which is sort of like a Let's Play version of like DevPro, which people kind of like that as well. So if you'd like to see any of that, please come check me out. Thank you again, Vexy, for letting me upload your channel. I'll see you guys later.